Hello everyone, my name is Radil Mahbub and today I shall talk about the First World War. The First World War started from July 1914 to November 1918. It cost a heavy toll of 9 million soldiers and 7 million civilians. Here, the war was stretched from these areas in Western Europe, the Ottoman Empire, and the Pacific and Northern New Guinea. These were where the main fighting occurred, but the main historic fighting occurred in Europe, so you can't call it a world war because only a bunch of countries only took part in it. So here's an enlarged map in Europe, and a reason for this was because the reason for this war was actually because of these colonies here. You can see India, in British Raj, India. So because of these colonizations, there was always like a threat that like this country may Belgian Congo may attack this country, or this country may attack this country. So there's this fear. This fear made all generals think that the only way to stop a war was to make more weapons, which proved them wrong. Because now see this more. See in this map you can see a bit of more redder portion of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. That part is Sarajevo. Is Sarajevo, where a bunch of which like that piece of land was won from the Serbians in the last major war. So to stop another war, the UK, France, Russia, and if you count Russia's friendship with Siberia, UK, France, Russia, and Siberia signed the Triple Entente. Meanwhile, the Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy signed the Triple Entente, soon to be joined by the Ottoman Empire. So these countries were like almost on the brink of war. The match was lighted when Archduke Franz Ferdinand was killed by Siberian assassins while his driver took a wrong turn in his car. This sparked the July crisis, and Austria-Hungary sent a impossible bunch of like to-dos to do. But when Siberia refused it, they declared war against Siberia, or Serbia. I'll call it Serbia. Oh yeah, Serbia. Well, Austro-Hungary declared war on Serbia. Russian Empire declared war on Austro-Hungarian Empire because it declared war on Serbia. German Empire declared war on Russia because it declared war on Austria-Hungary because it declared war on Serbia. Well, in this chain, the UK, France also joined in the war. This sparked the First World War, and this all happened in 2 months, like the declaring war and stuff. That all happened in 2 months. Now, Germany tried to invade France. Now see this purple and slightly bigger reddish country. Those two are the smaller one is called Luxembourg, and the bigger one up top, this one is called Belgium. It's called Belgium. So since the Germans couldn't attack directly because of a lot of trees there, they decided to go around them. They invaded Belgium. They invaded Belgium to get 3 key ports. Normandy, and yeah, another beach here, Calais. Normandy and Calais among them. No, Normandy, Calais, and Dunkirk. These 3 beaches were to be taken. They managed to go as far at sight of Paris, but then the Parisians pushed them back, and the Belgians flooded the war zone, so they could not advance much further. So both sides dug in. They dug in and made a series of trenches along the front. Because of Belgium's invasion, the UK decided to enter the war, and it did. Italy did not decide to go into the war because it had a deal with France not to attack it. And yeah, after this, they kind of entered a stalemate. Meanwhile, Austro-Hungarian Empire was invading Serbia. It conquered Serbia, but they fled to Albania. So Serbia and Austro-Hungarian Empire was friends, and Austro-Hungarian Empire said, okay, we're gonna do a friendly invasion. They're going to do a friendly invasion of Albania, but they conquered it, and the rest of them fled to Italy. Now, how this war would be, well, by then it would be, during Christmas 1914, the people in the trenches forgot war and made almost like close ties with each other, with the enemy. Chlorine gas was used in the Somme River, near the Somme River during the Battle of the Somme and Verdun. The Russian army was having some victories here, and here, and they managed to get a little bit of Germany. Now Germany had tried coaxing Afghanistan into joining them by attacking India, but they refused point blank. The Ottoman Empire was not doing a lot of great progress, but it did do some progress in Egypt here. They almost took the Suez Canal, but they were stopped at the last moment by the British, who began harassing them with T.E. Lawrence, better known as Lawrence of Arabia, to guide the rebels. Now, they also, over here, there's Japan, the Empire of the Sun. They had invaded a lot of Germany's colonized islands, and Australia had invaded the German New Guinea. So Germany was having some trouble here and there. Now Russia was out of the war because it had 2 revolutions: the October Revolution, in which the Tsar family was abdicated. Receiving information that Germany was trying to coax Mexico into attacking the USA, the US joined the war against Germany. The Battle of Verdun and Somme were still a horrific disaster, but at last, with US troops coming in from all directions, fresh US troops, they managed to make one last push into the Somme and started to retract the Germans little by little here and there. At last, in 1918, the Ottoman Empire fell, quickly followed by Romania. quickly followed by Austro-Hungary, and it broke, it shattered. Oh, and by the way, Italy had betrayed these guys and joined the French and the UK under the greed of more land. So yeah, now this one was, Germany was all alone, and like guys were closing in from all over the place. At last, it vowed to surrender to the combined British, French, American, Canadian, and Indian troops. In the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, in Versailles, they finally finished the war and signed an armistice, which meant that the war was still not over. The aftermath of the war had been devastating for Germany. It had lost its army to 1/3 of its original strength. They could not have an air force and a navy, and they had to pay a hefty amount of money which they only topped off, which they only finished giving in 2010, and the war ended in 1918. On top of that, Russia's withdrawal from the war and Germany's surrender caused a sort of new land called Poland. It was here, Poland, and here they also made a new land, Finland. Here they made a new country, Finland. So new countries were born, and Austro-Hungary's shattering caused a lot of new countries to be born as well, such as Switzerland and Austria and Hungary. Despite the fact that this war was horrible, there was still a lot of advancements in technology. One of them was that while men were going away for war, the fact that women took over a lot of the population needs made the population view that women are just like men. Men like just stand concrete. Plus naval technology and aircraft technology had exceeded a lot during the First World War. Not to mention, a new league was created. A new organization was created known as the League of Nations, which would prove fruitless because it would start the Second World War. Next video would be about the Second World War. I hope to see you then.